Hi, I'm Vicky and this is Teen Book Tuesday. Today, I thought I'd talk about a relatively new audiobook called The Screaming Staircase by Jonathan Stroud. If you've never read The Screaming Staircase or any of the other Lockwood and Company books, this is an absolutely fabulous horror series. I'm not saying that this is as scary as a Stephen King book, for example, but it did keep me up all night the first time I read it. The series takes place in London, in an alternate universe where ghosts have been a big problem for the past few years. The only people who can see the ghost are teenagers and younger. So they are hired as ghost hunters and trained to deal with the ghosts that they find. Lockwood, Lucy, and George head their own ghost hunting agency. They're unusual because they're independent, which means they're not attached to any of the other big agencies in London, and because they don't have an adult telling them what to do. Beginning of the first book, Lockwood and Lucy get into an enormous amount of trouble because they burned down a client's house during a ghost hunting mission. They somehow have to raise £60,000 in order to pay off the damage in 4 weeks. This is next to impossible to do because after they set their client's house on fire, no one wants to hire them. Their luck changes when Mr. Fairfax shows up at their front doorstep offering to pay their fines off. The catch is they have to spend the night in the most haunted house in all of London and get rid of all the ghosts there. And that's when this book starts getting really scary. There's just one scene with the blood dripping down the walls, and it was just amazing how well it was described. This audiobook is narrated by Miranda Raisin, who with her original British accent really adds to the whole feel of the book. I also prefer the audiobook over the original book because the audiobook manages to maintain the original British vernacular. The books seem a little bit more real to me when the two English characters carry flashlights instead of torches and they eat biscuits instead of cookies. I definitely recommend the series for those of you who like ghost stories. It's one of my favorite new stories that came out in the past 5 years, and there are also 3 sequels. And remember, listening to audiobooks is not cheating. You're still getting the same words, but with the added bonus of having somebody act it out for you. That's it for Teen Book Tuesday. Please join me next week when I'll be talking about a book that was inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement.